God's grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place. Surely the presence of love is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of love is in this place. Good morning. If you would all please stand as you are able, and we will sing Gifts of the Spirit. Ready, peace, are you ready? Are you ready to receive? These are the gifts of the Spirit, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the Spirit, are you ready to receive? Love, are you ready? Joy, I am ready. Very ready. Yeah.
Religion for 24, Alex. Good morning. Good morning, Unity Skagit Valley. Good morning, Unity Skagit Valley Online. We are so glad to see you, whether you're here in your physicality or out there in your abstract existence. So, welcome. I'm going to just read the script this time because I forgot stuff last time. We welcome you and greet you in the warm and loving spirit of unity. Wow. And in recognition of our unity with all people and all communities of faith throughout the world. In unity, we bless and embrace people of every race, every culture, every lifestyle, and every creed, and every other anything. People. We embrace people. And some of us embrace, like, animals and stuff. We honor and celebrate the many paths to God, the many names for God, and the many ways in which to experience God. And even that word God, it's up to you. We affirm there is only one presence and one power active in your life and in mine. God, the good, omnipotent. And our daily word reader for today is the lovely and talented Louise Kelly.
Thank you, Beth. I think I should thank you. Sunday's daily word is healing. Divine life lives in me. I am whole and well. What I am experiencing when I am experiencing a healing need, I focus my thoughts beyond illness and discomfort. Even as I seek treatment for the injury or illness, I see myself whole. I remember that I am created in the image, likeness, and according to the likeness of God. I know my life is God's life, living as me. Divine life fills every cell, strengthens every muscle, bone, and organ, and quickens every nerve in my body. It restores perfect order to all my body's functions, releasing and replacing anything unlike itself. When someone asks me to pray with them, I do not ask about their symptoms or circumstances. I affirm the healing activity of divine life in each one with whom I pray. I see them as the spiritual beings they are, whole and well. And from John 1, verse 4, in him was life, and the life was the light of all people. Thank you.
Thank you, Louise. And you are too lovely and talented. We have, we didn't welcome guests. Is there anybody here for the first time? Hello, welcome. We are glad to have you. And just want to let everybody know we have a potluck after the last Sunday of every month. We do a potluck. Stay, even if you didn't bring anything. It's a unity thing. There's always enough. And a reminder, and we'll remind you later, after the service, please grab up all your belongings, because this bank of chairs is going to be stacked against the wall. Tables are going to magically appear, and this bank of chairs is going to be distributed around the tables. So that's kind of that thing. Oh, we want to thank our fabulous musicians. Ward McCary and Ireland Woods. And on tech support today, we have Andrew. I don't know your last name. Sweeting. Oh, what a lovely name. And Jerry Gould doing tech support. And listen, we have so I think multiple kitchen people today in the absence of Gail, who is. Thank you, Lynn. Yes, thank you, Lynn Kelly. Where'd you go? There she is, in the back. All right. Yay! All right. Our prayer ministers are active, very, and wish to support you. Send any and all requests. You know, it could be, I can't find my favorite bracelet, to, I have a dire diagnosis. Anything. Send your requests to prayer@unitysv.org, or simply go to the website, unitysv.org, and hit the prayer button. Or place your prayers, if you're here in the room, in the wooden prayer chest over there by the windows. We will pray with you for a month, and then we send it to Silent Unity, which has been praying on prayers for the last is it 25 years? Yeah, 125 years. Non-stop, 24/7. Anyway, they will pray on them for another 30 days. All right, announcements. Announcements. September 27th from 10 a.m. to noon, just 2 hours of your time, folks. Come on in and help clean up what will be the conference room. It's that little room in the back. That will be our new conference room for board meetings and such. Also, September 27th, that evening, from 6 to 7:30, we have the joyful Reiki share with Valerie Rose. And if you have not had Reiki with Valerie Rose, boy, it's a powerful thing. And anybody who does Reiki is invited, and anybody who wants Reiki, or anybody who's curious, come on, everybody's welcome. Then September 29th from 5 to 7, it's kids' night out, parents' night out. The kids will be here. So, and we entertain them. Our wonderful group of people entertains them. Then, on the first Wednesday in October, drumming from 6 to 7:30. Lena is an amazing drum person. She's so humble. You don't have to have any drumming experience. You don't have to have a drum. Lena has an obsession, and so she brings like dozen drums or so, and rattles and all kinds of things. It's really fun. It's energizing. Even if well, I can't say that here. Even if I'm dragging, I can go to drumming and feel energized. So give it a shot. Sticking to the script. All right, I feel like I missed something, but... Prayer team meeting Tuesday at 2. That's on my calendar. And that is for the people who pray on your requests. And yeah, it's extraordinary. And we have a guest speaker today. We can't omit that. Our lovely Mary Ellen Johnson is back. We are so gifted to have her presence. And just by way of introduction, for those who haven't heard, Mary Ellen holds a Doctor of Ministry degree from the Wisdom School of Graduate Studies. She's also a religious science practitioner and a certified labyrinth facilitator. Ooh, did you see the new labyrinth back at the village? Yeah, pictures? Yeah, it's great. Mary Ellen has been known to go hours and miles out of her way to seek out a labyrinth someone told her about. She's also a voracious reader and is deeply inspired by stories of human triumph over adversity. As an avid pilgrim, Mary Ellen has completed the Spanish Camino and journeys on foot to Assisi in Italy and to Chartres, is that how you say it? Chartres Cathedral in France. This woman can hike. Mary Ellen's personal credo is, life is easy when you share what you love and teach what you know. And without further ado, we have, we changed it again. It's Mary Ellen, right? Yes. It's you.
Look at you. Good morning. Good morning. I'm happy to be here, and I got an email Tuesday morning saying that on short notice that you needed someone to speak this morning, and I said yes. I thought I could put together a talk in 4 days. Here I am. But first, I just feel led to let's just have a moment for Linda. All right? So let's just take a moment and breathe and send healing light to her. Linda, healing light surrounds you. The love of your community surrounds you. We see you whole. We see you joyous. We see you back standing here being your wonderful self in your wonderful community. And we claim that happens very soon. And I say thank you, God. All right. We're going to talk about benevolence today. Now, benevolence, I believe, is at the very heart of our way of being in the world. And so I want to just walk through it and explore the blessing that comes from practicing benevolence, how it enriches our lives, and to really know that the fruit of benevolence is joy. So benevolence is a big word, and I like the way it rolls off your tongue. So let's say it together. Benevolence. One more time. Benevolence. That just feels good. So what is benevolence? The dictionary has lots of synonyms, and here's a few of them, and I just put them in alphabetical order. Altruism, compassion, decency, generosity, goodness, goodwill, kindness, love, philanthropy, sympathy, tenderness, thoughtfulness, unselfishness. So benevolence at its core is just the acts of showing kindness and goodwill and generosity And this is key, without expecting anything in return, right? Without an expectation of anything specific coming back to you. It is a sincere desire to improve the well-being of other people around you. And I believe we're born into original benevolence, all right? The universe is benevolent to everyone. The sun shines on everyone. The rain falls on crops everywhere. The earth produces bounty and beauty for everyone all the time. So it's benevolence then becomes one of the things we think about when we think about God, okay? That's God's character, is to be benevolent. Because the universe is continually surrounding us with love and grace and benevolent givingness. So those of us who have learned to live in benevolence, we get to experience something called pronoia. And this is one of my favorite words too. Pronoia. It's the opposite of paranoia. Pronoia is that profound belief that the universe is working on my behalf, right? It's knowing that things are going to work out for me because they're just destined to be that way. It can be no other way. We might have some bumpy road, but in the end, it's going to be fine. Pronoia. So then I went to see what Charles Fillmore had to say about benevolence, because he liked big words too, right? So here's a quote from him. He says, "A wise, benevolent, and competent creator." Okay, Charles Fillmore thinks that our creator is competent. I like that. A wise, benevolent, and competent creator possesses the innate ability to fulfill the needs of his cherished creations. Throughout every stage of growth and development, it is perfectly logical to assume this divine supply will be readily available as long as the believer earnestly seeks to harness it. See, Charles Fillmore believed in pronoia too. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "God is the principle of divine benevolence that permeates the universe. The world is benevolent, operating according to love and justice. One who seeks strength and power will align with these principles. If you truly want to be strong and powerful, be benevolent." Now, I get a daily note from the universe. Is anybody else signed up for that email? Oh, people, it's free, and it's the funnest thing ever, because the guy who writes them has a goofy sense of humor, and it's always uplifting. So notes from the universe, I think if you Google it, it'll take you right there, and you can sign up. But here's a recent one. It always calls you by name. So it says, "Mary Ellen, it's your degree of faith, your belief in benevolent powers, and your physical demonstrations that summon the magic." And that magic, I believe, is profound joy. So, I've painted a pretty rosy picture of benevolence. But it's not always that way, right? We've all been burned, right? I would say that some of us actually have some trauma around times that we were generous and it came back and it bit us bad, right? The challenge is to heal from that, because that was then and this is now. And we never step into the same river twice, right? So if you need to do some healing work, I implore you, do what you need to do and get some assistance if you need it. I'm a big fan of counseling. I'm a big fan of prayer. I'm a religious practitioner because that's part of what I do, is to help people see that how their thinking has created challenges in their lives and keeps them stuck. So I want you to do your work about that if you need to. So our intentions, they really matter. I'm reminded of Scott Peck, who wrote The Road Less Traveled. That book came out in the 70s, and it's still really relevant today. And he describes love as the willingness to extend yourself for the benefit of another. Okay? So love and benevolence aren't just feelings. They are how you act. They are actions. They are how we show up in the world. Because being benevolent is a blessing. I mean, you get to express your divine nature when you are generous. It's the emotional blessing of the profound sense of joy. It will fill your heart. Because giving not only benefits the receiver, it benefits the giver. And as we experience that joy of selflessness and the sense of connectedness, we get that sense of having made a difference in somebody's life, and we get the benefit of feeling joyful and connected. And then when we are benevolent in community, we weave the fabric of community, right? When everyone is generous and kind with someone else, we weave the bonds of community. And don't we all crave that? I mean, loneliness is the disease of our time. And I think benevolence is one of the cures for that. So, one of the things we do in New Thought is that we stay in thought, right? We're all in our heads, right? But like the fifth principle of unity is it's not just good to know about this. We have to act on our beliefs, right? So let me talk about a couple of concrete things here for a minute. So Jesus, in the Sermon on the Mount, tells us in Matthew chapter 25, verses 35 and 36. Gosh, I feel like a good evangelical just saying the Bible verse. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you came to visit me. So, here's a couple of specific ideas. The first one is, let's all be a little more benevolent in our judgments of others. Okay? This is one that I think is so easy to fall into the trap of assigning negative motivations to what we see other people doing. Right? It's easy to think negatively about someone who does something we don't like. What if we just suspended judgment for a minute? What if we just said, okay, in the great scheme of things, what they did or said is not a hill of beans. And maybe they are doing the best they can with what they have and with what their circumstances are right now. And maybe they're carrying a burden that I know nothing about. So, to me, that's a profound benevolent attitude, is to always assume the best motivations about people. Because if you've ever been the victim of someone assigning a negative motivation to something you've done when it has come from a pure heart, we know how devastating that is. So let's be generous and benevolent in our thoughts about other people. The second one that I want to talk about, and I have to tell you honestly, this is one of my pet peeves. I'm on Facebook. I love Facebook. I'm not a prolific poster, but when I got a positive COVID test on the 1st of September, right before Labor Day, I just took a picture of my little test strip, put it on my Facebook page. Well, you know what? I got an outpouring of emojis and a good number of comments about, oh my gosh, get well soon, and if there's anything I can do, let me know. Which was wonderful. But you know, one of my colleagues from graduate school who lives in Colorado picked up a card, wrote me a note, put my address on it and a stamp and mailed it to me. So I'm still sick, right? I'm still flat on the sofa with COVID, but I go get the mail, and there's a pink envelope filled with love and good wishes, and somebody who had a benevolent urge to go beyond the basics. And so I would encourage you, if you know about someone who is having a challenging time, if you've got their phone number, do the old school thing and call them up. Call them. And if you get their voicemail, leave them a loving voicemail. Or at least send them a profoundly personal text, right? So they know you actually typed out that message. You're going to touch them at a much deeper level, all right? And it doesn't take a lot more effort. My other little peeve is when people say, if there's anything I can do for you, just ask. Well, you know, sometimes when you're sick or you're in the pit of grief, you don't even know what to ask, right? So if you've got an intuition or an idea of something to do, just do it, right? Somebody isn't going to ask you to mow their lawn, but their lawn needs mowed. Just either pay the neighbor kid to do it or what? In the old days, when there was a death in the family, the neighbors would show up with casseroles, right? Well, I'm not so much a casserole baker, but I can at least go to Costco and pick up a chicken and a bag of salad and maybe some cookies, because you might want to have a little binge late at night, right? And if I'm really good, I'll throw in some paper products so that you don't, some paper plates and napkins and some Kleenex. So if you have a good cry and you can't wash the dishes, I got you covered, right? Think out of the box about being benevolent and kind, right? So again, benevolence can still be all theory. But where does the rubber meet the road? And so I'm going to tell a little story on myself. I first heard the sentence, never squelch a benevolent impulse. I heard that about 1.5 years ago. I don't know where it came from, whether it was a book, whether it was a sermon, whether our Joel Osteen said it on the radio. I don't know, but it stuck in me. Never squelch a benevolent impulse. And so I decided on a little experiment. I thought, okay, I'm going to give it 6 months. You know, let's do the never say no, never squelch a benevolent impulse. That was my way of thinking in the world, and my wanting my way of being. So, you know, there's things about it that are pretty easy, right? Okay, don't shame me. I like McDonald's breakfast sandwiches. True confessions. Maybe I've got some kindred souls here. So one morning, you know, I roll through the drive-thru and they're having a 2-for-1 sale. So I get 2 sausage McMuffins. And I'm headed off to where I'm going. And I come to an intersection, a stoplight, and there's a homeless person begging at the corner. And I'm thinking, I got an extra breakfast sandwich and it's still warm. So I roll down the window and I hand it to this man. And before the light turned green, I watched that man unwrap that sandwich and chow into it like he was starving. And I thought, he was hungry. And all I did was give him my spare breakfast sandwich. Okay, it's things like that that are easy. So a week or 2 after that, I was driving home. I live in West Seattle, so I went up the hill to the grocery store and the library. I'm headed back down the hill. And as I'm driving down, it's kind of a narrow residential street. I see out of the corner of my eye a person sitting on the curb with their head in their hands. And I think to myself, oh, that person looks like they could use a friend, right? And I keep driving. And then I said, wait a minute. You promised you were never going to squelch a benevolent impulse. So I turned around. I turned around and I went back up the hill and I parked my car and I went over and I sat down next to this person. Now, they're sitting on a curb, like this step, right? And I'm thinking, okay, it's a little rough going down. It might be tough coming back up, but here we go. So I sit down and I just say, hi, I'm Mary Ellen, and you look like you need a friend. Well, come to find out, as I got to know this person, they're a non-binary young person who was having one struggle after another with employment, with money, with, just even being non-binary, even that community is sometimes not all that benevolent, right? So as this person poured out their heart to me, I listened. I just listened. And of course, then I said I spoke some positive things, and they kept talking. And one of the challenges is that their pet is a Komodo dragon. Okay, now you got to picture what that is in your mind. It's a reptile, and it's they're about about this big. Not a warm and fuzzy, cuddly thing, but their pet was a Komodo dragon, and the poor thing had tail rot. Now, I have no idea what tail rot, but it doesn't sound good, right? And the cost for a visit to the exotic pet veterinarian was $160. And of course, she didn't have that. It's like, tail rot, pay the rent. What am I going to do, right? Well, I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, okay, I keep $100 cash in small bills in my earthquake kit. And I had just been to the store and I'd gotten $60 cash back from the cashier. I thought, I have $160. So I said, if you'll help me stand up, I'll get you. We're gonna get your little dragon to the vet. Yeah. So they helped me up, and I went to my car and got the money. And while I was in my car, I also grabbed one of my business cards, and I came back, sat down again. That was brave, and handed them the money, and then said, and here's my card. It's got my cell phone number and my email address on it, and I want you to get in touch with me and let me know how things turn out. And I said, and yes, I'm a minister. And they kind of looked at me and I go, yeah, but I'm not that kind of minister. So the dragon went to the vet and got what it needed to arrest the tail rot, to stop it. And I actually got to meet it a few weeks later because this young person was also interested in labyrinths. Oh, you don't have to ask me twice. So there's actually a labyrinth in West Seattle, so we met there. I brought my finger labyrinths, and we had a wonderful time. I also then shared one of Eric Butterworth's books about prosperity because I felt like, this will give her a new way of thinking about being in the world and about money. And so I made a friend. I learned some things about what it's like to be non-binary, right? So they taught me a few things. So it was a beautiful, beneficial thing. I still feel profound joy about making myself turn around and go sit down on the curb. Okay? Yeah. And what goes around and comes around, because I started to tell Beth, I kind of been through the ringer in the last year. I've had some real life challenges. And yet at every step of the way, I will tell you that I have been treated with kindness and benevolence and generosity beyond imagination. Because when you give it out, you realize you're very much attuned to when people are benevolent and kind and generous to you in return. So you begin, then it becomes self-reinforcing. You begin to change your thinking about life. And isn't that what we teach here over and over again? You change your thinking, you change your behavior, and your life changes. Okay, people, this stuff works. So just to kind of wrap it up, being a channel for benevolence is a sacred privilege. It's how we get to be the voice and the hands of God in the world. And as we extend our compassion to others, we mirror the heart of God, and we experience profound joy and a sense of belonging. So I encourage you to reflect on how you can be more benevolent in your own life. And if you want to take on the challenge I took on, ask me for my card, because I want to hear from you about I want to hear a story about what happened, because I guarantee you, it's kind of addictive and it's life-changing. So if we resolve to be channels of benevolence, the transformative power of God's love shines brightly in us, and it touches the lives of all those we come in contact with. Right? So shall we do this together? Because I believe it's one more step in creating the world that works for everyone. And truly, I believe that's why we're here. Right? Thank you.
Thank you, Mary Ellen. That was so inspiring. I'm going to share the link with my friends, because that's an act of benevolence, don't you think? Yes. Yeah. I neglected, before we get into meditation, and I'm sorry to break the flow, I neglected to give you an update on our dear Reverend Linda. So she has done marvelously well with the very aggressive cancer treatments. And then she got COVID. It seems to be a light case, and she is isolated, and Kay went to the hospital with pneumonia. Kay is Linda's partner, just so you all know. And so prayers are welcome for all of them. Sky tells us that they're doing marvelously well in terms of their, their worldview, their perspective. And so we are all so grateful for prayers and acts of benevolence that have been sent their way. And now if we will prepare ourselves for meditation.
God and I are one. God and I are one. God is love, then I must be loving. I let the love of God flow through me now, and I am healed. God and I are one. God and I are one. God is life, then I must be living. I let the life of God flow through me now, and I am healed. God and I are one. God and I are one. God is peace, then I must be peaceful. I let the peace of God flow through me now, and I am healed.
This is such a special time. So I want you to sit squarely in your chair. Let the chair do its job of supporting you. If you've got anything in your hands, set it aside for now. And together, let's breathe the one breath. Let's breathe the one breath of divine life. The divine life that we all share. Breathe in, releasing all tension in your body, and prepare that space for Spirit to speak to you. Let my words be your words, and let my voice carry you. Because it is here that we connect with the most sacred of relationships, our Christ nature, our higher self, our Spirit of God in expression. I invite you to open your heart. And let's declare benevolence and kindness and generosity flow through me. I am that, and that is what I am. Benevolence and kindness and generosity. These are the attributes that are of me, and I wish to find more and more value in expressing them beyond myself. This pure feeling in my heart of benevolence that resonates as truth, that resonates as Christ light of benevolence in all that surrounds my world. Affection softens my heart. Kindness opens my heart. And generosity gives expression to that open heart. That which is born in me can best be discovered by expressing it to others. I feel grounded and I find serenity in the expression of love and caring. So today I begin to open myself to this truth. I bring it into my daily spiritual practice. I am willing to be open to my benevolent nature. And I express the willingness to give at every opportunity. Oh, how good this feels. Oh, how good this feels. Today I live with the intention to express to others my generosity, kindness, and appreciation. No longer restricted by fear. I have no need to suppress my benevolent impulses. I am so grateful for the presence of my loved ones. As I appreciate others, I also feel better about myself. Because I value others and I value myself, I am kind. In my thoughts and actions, I treat myself with gentleness, and I extend that kindness. As I cultivate gentleness, my spirit expands to all God's children. As I discover the joy of benevolence, my daily spiritual practice encourages me to consider who and what is important to me. I move gracefully in this flow. I move gracefully in this flow. And in my daily meditations, I imagine the faces of those I know, and I bring them into my heart, and I silently wish them well. I say, may you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be prosperous. I do this with an open heart of love that is pouring forth to all living beings. I visualize myself as a vessel for universal abundance. I feel the lightness of this and the serenity that it holds for me. I feel the joy of pure love that washes over me. I set the intention to open to express generosity. I listen to my intuition. I look for new ways to truly give myself to life. As I bestow kindness unto others, I know now that I am bestowing kindness to myself. I communicate with as much benevolence as possible. I feel the truth of who I really am through this expression, and I desire more of this. I desire more of this empowering expression of my highest self. I listen to that still small voice inside, and I invite Spirit to move through me. As I receive, so I give in this benevolent universe. I am so grateful for this opportunity, and I say thank you, God. Thank you, God, for this time. Thank you, God, for bringing me back to this room within my beloved community.
Thank you, Mary Ellen. Wow. And now it's time for special music with Ward and Ireland. Thank you.
Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. There's nothing you can do that can't be done. Nothing you can sing that can't be sung. Nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy. Nothing you could make that can't be made. No one you could save that can't be saved. Nothing you can do, but you can learn how to be you in time. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love, love. Love is all you need. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love, love. Love is all you need. Nothing you could know that isn't known. Nothing you could see that isn't shown. Nowhere you can be that isn't where you're meant to be. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love, love. Love is all you need. All you need is love. All together now. All you need is love. Everybody. All you need is love, love. Love is all you need. 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 Let's do it all together. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love, love. Love is all you need. Love is all you need. Love is all you need. She loves you, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ireland Wood on horns, everybody. Isn't she amazing? She can do whole songs that way. All right, back to the script. It's time to show our benevolence toward each other, toward this community, toward keeping the ideas of unity flowing through ourselves, through each other, through everyone we meet. This benevolence, thank you, Mary Ellen, sparks benevolence. The more we give, the more we receive. So, if you will, hold your donation, whether virtual or physical, in your hand, maybe by your heart, and let's do our love offering blessing, which is in the program, bottom of the left-hand page. I give joyfully and easily, for God is my source, and abundance is my nature, and I cannot outgive God. I'm assuming we have no children today? Nope, because our Sunday school teacher is out, so yes. And I'm believing we must bless our children anyway. Our virtual children, our inner children, anybody's children. They are the future, folks. Children of light, we love you, we bless you, and we appreciate you just the way you are. Wouldn't it be awesome if we all got that message growing up? Whew. What's next? Okay, it is time for our prayer for protection, followed by the peace song. Here are the words, coming soon to a theater near you. This is the theater. This is our home. Look, it's right there. Here we go. The prayer for protection. Remember, folks, this prayer was sent with the soldiers in World War II. This prayer was sent to the moon with the first moonwalking astronauts. All right, the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is swell. Circle, then we gather up our belongings.